modification. Subaerial stem modification. Subaerial stem modification, because we already discussed about, no need to remember basic steps. What is the stem color? What is the function? Because there is no question on those part. Whatever the questions are coming, that those questions are coming from the modification. So definitely that subaerial modification again divide into total 4 sections. So please divide your page into 4 part, because we are taking example, diagram, and the unique feature. That's it. So divide your page into 4 sections. First part, we are talking about first example, that is runner. Subaerial stem modification. First one, that is runner. Number second, that is stolen. Number third, offset. And the last one, that is sucker. So these are the 4 examples which is come under subaerial stem modification. I'm repeating this part again. Last class हमने देखा था underground stem modification. Again, those are the 4 types. But which is the types? Rhizome, corm, tuber, and the bulb category. That is the underground stem. Here we are talking about subaerial stem modification. Again, these are the 4 types: runner, stolen, offset, and the sucker. Please don't get confused, because ये जो part है, as it is this part, we'll see in 12th standard first chapter, that is reproduction in plant. So whatever is part is there, all this entire part is similar. First of all, we are talking about example for the runner. So quickly we are writing example for the all. So whenever we are talking about the runner category, mostly such condition it is present in grasses. Present in grasses, okay, in case of the runner. When you talk about the stolen, I think screen is quite delayed, if I'm not wrong, right? I think there's a few second delay. Okay, I'll wait. Yeah, Komal, got it. I think it's visible. Yeah. So in case of the runner, first example, that is grasses. Grasses, in case of the grasses, this condition is very much common. When you compare the point that is stolen, it's very much common in case of the jasmine, and the another example, strawberry. Offset, basically it is present in mostly in aquatic plant, and you know very well 2 example for the aquatic plant. Number 1, that is pistia, and the another second, that is ecornia. Pistia and the ecornia. And you know very well, ecornia, it is also called as the water hyacinth, because it is responsible for algal bloom formation. They drain the oxygen from the water, and ultimately they create a pollution, water pollution. So whenever we are talking about the ecornia, another name for the ecornia, these are also called as the water hyacinth. Okay, for the ecornia specifically. And the last example, we are talking about the sucker. In case of the sucker, first of all, we are taking the example banana, because see, हमने banana rhizome में भी देखा था, right? And banana, here we are talking about banana in case of sucker category also. So might be possible examples will be repeated. So don't worry. So first example, that is banana. Another example, pineapple. And the last one, which is the very common and the question coming from this example, that is chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Underline this word. So these are the examples where subaerial stem modification is present. Runner, in case of the runner, grasses. In case of the stolen, jasmine and the strawberry. Offset, pistia, ecornia. Ecornia also called as a water hyacinth. And in case of the sucker, banana, pineapple, and the chrysanthemum. Chalo. Next point, we are taking the diagrammatic representation. What is exactly meaning of runner, stolen, offset, and sucker? Yeah. Should I start with diagram? Should I continue? Okay, chalo. So first of all, we are talking about category. Yes, that is runner category. Runner category basically it is present in grasses, and you know very well grasses mostly they are belonging to monocotyledon family, right? Or more specifically Poaceae family. We'll discuss that part in last point, that is family part. So now what happened? Whenever we are talking about the runner, first of all, runner basically they are showing horizontal growth pattern. Sorry. Horizontal growth pattern. First condition. Okay. Another one, it has the thin stem. And the third one, there is a presence of more than one internode. More than one internode present. So quickly we are taking the diagrammatic representation. What is meaning of that horizontal growth, thin stem, more than one internode are present. Suppose these are the grasses root. Monocotyledon, obviously it is having the fibrous root. Now these are the portion where the stems are present. Means leafy structure actually. Stem, leafy structure, what you want to say. These are the structure present. Now what happened? From the lower part, from the lower stem, there is something a horizontal growth from this point because it is subaerial. Subaerial means what? Some portion it is contact with the air, some portion it is touched to the subaerial. So now what happened? From the lower part of the stem, now bird it will be get arise, and that bird it gives rise to stem area, right? So now what happened? That area, that stem area, it is penetrate inside the soil. They gives rise to new root. Again, there is a formation of the new shoot system, new leafy structure get formed. So now what happened? Between the two plantlets, between the two plantlet, there is a something a connection is present. They are showing the horizontal growth pattern, basically thin stem, and such structure nothing but these are called as the runner. Okay, runner, see, when we talk about the offset also these are the one kind of the runner, but that is the aquatic runner, right? Aquatic runner in case of the offset, we'll discuss that part later. But what is the exactly main difference? Runner basically they are showing exactly horizontal growth. Two grasses, suppose two grasses they attach with the each other with the help of, yes, sure, two grasses they are attached with the help of the runner. And runner is what? Runner basically these are the one kind of the stem modification. More specifically we are talking about the aerial stem modification. Lower part of the stem they are showing horizontal growth. Then they and further after few distance they penetrate inside the soil, form a new root, form a new shoot system, form a new leaf, and between the two plant of, means between the two grasses there is a formation of some horizontal thin stem like structure. That thin structure simply these are called as the runner. Got it? Got it? Clear? So horizontal growth and the thin stem, these are the characteristic features of the runner. Now when you, okay, so when you compare this point with the next plant in case of this stolon, so stolon basically it is very much common in case of jasmine. अगर आई थिंक आपके घर में जास्मिन, जास्मिन इज अ वेरी मच कॉमन इन महाराष्ट्र और व्हाट वी से सभी एरिया में कॉमन होता है. सो जस्ट सी एट द बॉटम, इफ यू सी बॉटम ऑफ दैट jasmine plant, mogra actually flower. So if you see that is jasmine, bottom of that jasmine, you will observe something of network like structure. Network like structure means what? Suppose these are the part of the two plants, okay, it having the leaf. Suppose these are the leaves are present. But the lower part, from the lower part something it will be formation of the oblique growth, right? And this oblique growth pattern simply these are called as the category, that is stolen category. Between the two plant, now what happened? There is a presence of the oblique growth. So what you explain, how you explain the stolen? Stolen basically they represent the growth pattern. Now it is not horizontal, basically it will be showing the oblique growth pattern. It's not exactly straight. अब कैसा हो गया? Oblique हो गया. Oblique means what? First plant from the lower stem region, they are showing upward growth. Then again they go toward the downward direction. right? So downward growth hoga, it will be showing bending. So simply we are talking about stolen basically. Again, these are the one example of the subaerial modification present between the two plant. But if we see the exactly pattern, so they are showing the oblique growth pattern. Got it? Clear? Just remember only one word: stolen, example, oblique growth. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Now, see what is meaning of the offset. First of all, I'm writing the common characteristic. When we are talking about the offset category, offset also they are showing horizontal growth. Same to same information. It's similar to runner. So in case of the runner also we discussed there is a presence of the horizontal growth. In case of the offset also there is a presence of the horizontal growth. But second difference with respect to offset, offset basically it has the stem, and that stem basically they are the thick stem. If you compare this point with runner it has the thin stem. But when you compare this point with offset basically it has the thick stem. That is the exactly difference between runner and the offset. And on the basis of that, sometime offset also called as aquatic runner. So alternate name for the offset also called as aquatic runner. Why we are talking about the aquatic runner? Growth pattern is same. Obviously, horizontal growth pattern they are showing. Stem is present, but now stem these are the quite thick. So obviously, but when we are talking about the runner basically is present and terrestrial ecosystem. And when you compare with offset also called as the aquatic runner. Why aquatic runner? Because everything characteristics are maximum similar, growth pattern are similar, but habitat are different. One is present in case of terrestrial ecosystem, another one is present in case of the water. So runner basically has the thin stem, while obsidian has the thick stem. And the another difference, next one differs, the difference with respect to internode. In case of the runner, we'll clearly mention one point: more than one internode is present in case of the runner. But in case of the offset, we are talking about only single internode is present, only single. So single internode present. So that is the exactly difference between runner and the offset. Okay. Sure. Quickly complete the writing part. And bottom, I'll just try, I'll draw the diagram for the same. So we are talking about aquatic condition. Okay. Root. Suppose these are the roots. Leafy structures are present. And between this, from the lower stem, there is a formation of something, a horizontal growth, but that is a quite thick. Okay. If you see runner basically these are the thin. You can see here. And in case of the ye jo part ho gaya, that part basically we are talking about the offset has stem between the two plant, between the two aquatic plant, but offset is comparatively thick in size. Thick stem is present. Chalo, done this part. Done. Okay, Priyanshu. Komal, Pooja. Okay. Now, last point, we are talking about the sucker. In case of the sucker, straightforward growth pattern, these are the combination of horizontal plus oblique growth. So we are talking about the growth pattern. Initially, there is a presence of the horizontal growth pattern, and followed by there is a presence of the oblique growth pattern. दोनों का combination है sucker category. Initially horizontal and another one that is there is a presence of what we say oblique growth pattern. And the another one, if we are talking about the internode, so again more than one internode is present. Even in case of the stolen also, okay, even in case of the stolen also, please write down more than one internode is present. Single internode present only and only in case of the offset, while remaining in case of the runner, in case of the stolen, in case of the sucker, more than one internodes are present. Only single internode present in case of the offset, which is a very unique. Okay, so quickly we are taking the diagrammatic representation. Suppose these are the part of this stem. Okay, from this stem lower part, now there is a something of growth. First of all, there is a growth, that is which growth? There is horizontal growth. Now there is a formation of the oblique growth pattern. And after the oblique growth pattern, they can form a new plantlet like this. So already a plant present, definitely these are the one plant is present. But now what happened? It will be showing the two combination. This part basically it will be showing the horizontal, initially horizontal tha, and after that they are showing oblique growth pattern toward the upward direction. So when we are talking about the growth pattern in case of the sucker, combination of both, initially horizontal and another one, then immediately they can showing the growth, that is oblique growth pattern. Horizontal means what? Parallel to soil, parallel to earth. So combination of the both. Very simple, straightforward question. Sucker, stolen, offset, and this what we say runner. All these are the four example of subaerial modification. You have to remember example pattern. That's it. Got it? Chalo. Any doubt from subaerial modification? This part is covered. Any doubt from subaerial modification? Deepika? ठीक है, चलो. Done? Should I continue next part? Next part we are talking about modification of aerial stem. We discussed already modification of underground stem. Now we discuss modification of subaerial stem. Now we are talking about modification of aerial stem. Chalo. Should I continue? Okay. Write down the title. Write down the title. Modification, because we are not taking basic characteristic, we are only focusing on the modification part. So we are talking about that is modification of aerial stem. Aerial stem, okay. And first of all, first category which is present, we are talking about that is phylloclade. And phylloclade, these are the neat important question. What is meaning of the phylloclade? So one by one we are taking the category, because we have to discuss phylloclade, then we discuss about the clador, then हमें prickles भी देखने, then we have to discuss about the thorns, then further parts, that is tendril, etc. So we'll discuss everything. So first of all, we are talking about what is the meaning of the phylloclade, and yes, it is important. First of all, write down the example where such type of this modification is present. So these are the very much common in case of the plant, that is Opuntia. Okay. Opuntia, these are the scientific name, or you can say it's a biological name for the cactus. And you know very well, cactus basically is present in desert condition where water condition is less. Cactus. In case of the Opuntia, basically, or in case of the cactus, presence of flat shape phylloclade. Presence of flat shape phylloclade. So we'll discuss what is meaning of the phylloclade, but first we write down the examples. So first example, Opuntia, common name cactus, and inside the cactus, yes, phylloclade is present, which is the one type of the aerial stem modification, but shape basically flat. When you compare this point with euphorbia, another example, euphorbia, and the next one example, casuarina. Euphorbia and the casuarina. These are the two examples where phylloclades are present, but shape of the phylloclade basically it is a cylindrical shape. So cylindrical shape phylloclade is present. So Aponcia, flat, Euphorbia, Casuarina, cylindrical shape. So we are talking about what is meaning of the phylloclade and what is their major function and how question will be arise. Chalo, should I continue? Then we talk about the basic information. Okay, chalo. So now first of all, we are taking this simple example in case of this Aponcia. Just imagine the cactus plant, right? Cactus plant, it is having something a very thick color or leafy structure. It's not a leaf, basically. It's a one kind of the stem. So we'll discuss that part later. So first of all, we are talking about the typical structure of cactus. Suppose the soil layer, these are the level of the soil. And now there is a presence of something of flat structure like this. Suppose a one, there is a presence of the second one. Now these are the third one, fourth one, fifth one. Because see, if you see the cactus plant, basically it will be showing something budding like structure. जैसे bird arise होता है. Similarly, upon shade will be having some budding like structure. Okay, so such kind of this arrangement is there. Now here we are talking about whatever the structures are present. Okay, this structure. On that structure, there is a presence of something a reduced leaf that is called as the spine. So if you observe this condition, there is a something hairy structure present on the cactus, very pointed. So this structure basically it is called as the spiny structure, and spiny structure nothing but these are presence of the reduced leaf. And why reduced leaf? To control water loss. There is a presence of the reduced leaf, and that leaf nothing but basically it is converted into spiny structure. It is converted into spine. We'll discuss part. Spine nothing but these are the some hard pointed structure, and it is a one kind of the leaf modification. Leaf they reduce their surface area, because now what if surface area more on the plant on leaf, so ultimately stomata will be get open and there is a more water loss. So cactus basically they present in desert condition where waterless condition. So these are the one kind of the modification which is present in case of the Aponcia, and in case of the Aponcia definitely they having reduced leafy structure. So ये green color का क्या है? Whatever, it's not a leaf. Please remember, whatever we are talking about, these are the green color which is look like a budding. That green color structure, now these are the called as the phylloclade. It's a phylloclade, okay? And if I'm talking about the phylloclade, just we discussed basically these are the stem modification. Huh? And what is the main function of this phylloclade? Basically, they are green in color. So major function, they are performing the process of the photosynthesis. So please remember this point. In case of the Aponcia, in case of the cactus, definitely leaves they convert it into spiny structure. They convert it into spine to reduce water loss. So who perform the photosynthesis? So aerial stem that is called as the phylloclade. Phylloclade they perform the function of photosynthesis because it's a flat structure, right? And they are behave as a leaf. Already leaf they get reduced obviously because water loss nahi karna hai. So there is another kind of the modification that is with respect to phylloclade. The main function this is because they are green color. Got it? Got it? Okay. So yeah. So clear this point. What is meaning of the phylloclade? Phylloclade basically these are the one kind of the aerial stem modification who perform the photosynthesis function. And what happened with respect to leaf? Leaf also undergo the modification. They convert it into spine. They convert it into very pointed structure because they want to save water. They want to control the water loss. They want to control the transpiration. That's why there's a one kind of the modification with respect to leaf. Done. Chalo. I hope this point is clear. It's very important point, okay? Because see, what you prepare, whatever the names are there, means like just dekha underground stem, write down name like rhizome example, then tuber example, corm example, bulb example, right? Second category, write down subaerial modification, then stolen example, runner example, offset example, sucker example. Similarly, when we talk about the aerial modification, write down the phylloclade example, and you have to remember what is their function. That is also important, okay? Especially in case of the aerial stem modification, because what is the main function of stem? Support. They form a erect structure, they form a straight structure, so entire plant body, branches, leaf, flower, fruit, so they get the support with the help of that stem. But in this condition, stem are having some kind of the modification. They're not involved in during the support, now they are involved in during the photosynthesis process. That's why we are talking about they are phylloclade. And remember, आपने आपके घर में, because you know very well cactus, basically these are the very indoor plant, it's an ornamental plant, right? So whatever the green structure, that is expansion, that disc-like structure or that flat structure, that is not a leaf. Basically they are stem, and that stem called as phylloclade, which is a modification of aerial stem. Got it? Okay, chalo. Now number second, we are talking about second modification, that is cladode. एक हमने देखा phylloclade. Now I'm talking about the second modification, that is cladode. ठीक है, cladode. In case of the cladode, first of all we are writing the example where these are the present. Cladode condition present in case of this asparagus. Again यहाँ पे repeat हुआ name, asparagus. Asparagus, right? And another example we are talking about buttercup, also called as the ruscus. Cladode present in two plant. Number one, that is asparagus, and the another one, that is ruscus. Now, what is the function of that cladode? Definitely they are performing, they are green in color, and obviously whenever we are talking about the function, both they are performing the function, that is photosynthesis. So similarly, like a phylloclade, they are performing the function, that is photosynthesis. So quickly we are taking what is the exactly difference between cladode and the phylloclade, because if you see the function, phylloclade also they are performing the function, that is photosynthesis. Cladode also they are performing the function of the photosynthesis. But we are talking about what is the exactly difference between phylloclade and cladode. Okay? So please divide your page into two sections. Quickly we are talking about just 2 to 3 points. One part we are talking about, that is phylloclade. And compare this point with cladode. Phylloclade and the cladode. Common point between them, they are green in color, both they are aerial modification, and both they are performing the function photosynthesis. These are the common point. But we are talking about what is the exactly difference between phylloclade and the cladode. When we are talking about the phylloclade, basically in this point, whole stem, entire stem, they get modified and converted into phylloclade. Entire stem, okay? Entire stem they get modified and they convert it into phylloclade. But when you compare this point with cladode, only branch they get modified. Only branch. Pura stem modify nahi ho raha hai. Only branch, okay? So in this point of view, we are talking about, that is, these are the branch modification. Branch modified, and now simply they convert into cladode. So these are the exactly basic difference on the basis of their modification. Next function, next difference. When we talk about the phylloclade, I hope I'm not talking about that the cactus which is present in pot, small pot, because that is an ornamental plant. अगर आपने naturally cactus कभी देखा हुआ है, so you know very well that cactus height is very long. One bud, then second bud, then third bud, it will be form a budding structure. So whenever we are talking about the phylloclade showing unlimited growth, unlimited. जब तक उसका लाइफ स्पैन होगा, now continuously there is a formation of the phylloclade on the top position. So they are showing unlimited growth. But when you compare this point with the cladode basically they are showing limited growth pattern. That's it. Hmm? Third one, and the last point, differences. When you compare with the phylloclade, in case of the phylloclade, it has the different function. Different functions हम आगे देखेंगे. On the phylloclade, basically there is a presence of the fleshy leaf. Fleshy leaf present, right? And such type of this fleshy leaf, they are totally absent in case of the cladode category. Another one, there is a presence of the spiny leaf. Spiny leaf means what? That is reduced leaf. So in case of on cactus, on phylloclade, spiny leaves are present. But when you compare this point with cladode, on the cladode, such type of the spiny leaf, again they are absent. Spiny leaf means what? Something a reduced leaf, very hard pointed structure like a thorn, like a very delicate structure. Hmm? That is spine. And the last one, when we are talking about the phylloclade, on the phylloclade, basically bristles are present. Bristles means what? Like a brush like structure. जैसे होता है ना brush जैसा होता है हमारा toothbrush. So it is on the body, on the phylloclade, very fine, very bristle like structures are present, right? So such type of the bristle हम आगे देखेंगे इसको within few minutes. What is meaning of bristles? So bristles are present on phylloclade, but such type of these hard pointed structure, they are totally absent with respect to cladode. Hmm? So these are the exactly basic difference between the phylloclade and the cladode. Phylloclade stem modification, then phylloclade they are showing unlimited while cladode are showing limited growth pattern. Next point, fleshy leaves, spiny leaves, bristle, entire structure present in case of the phylloclade. When you compare this point with the cladode, entire structure, they are absent. So for the present, we are using the plus sign, and for the absent, we are using the minus sign. Okay, new student? Plus and the minus. जितना हो सकता है ना उतना short form में लिखो. Because now what happened? If less notebook is required for the writing, so ultimately you can cover that part in very less time. So हमें प्रेशर क्रिएट नहीं करना है बिकॉज आपको पेपर थ्योरी पेपर नहीं लिखना है. यू आर विलिंग टू गो फॉर द नीट एग्जामिनेशन. Question will be there, MCQs toward the bottom, so you have to prepare one strategy, smart work. Hmm? Less writing but more information. Got it? Hmm? So don't write any stuff material. It's very necessary because once you complete the entire syllabus, so बहुत ज़्यादा notebook होगा और जितना ज़्यादा notebook होगा उतना ज़्यादा आपको time लगेगा for the preparation. So smart work. चलो. Now all these are the information with respect to that is phylloclade and the cladode. Both these are the aerial stem modification. Number third, we are talking about tendril. Right now, number third, we are talking about the tendril. Tendril also, these are the one type of the modification, that is aerial stem modification. And you know very well, tendril basically these are the thin, wiry, thread-like structure coiled around for the support. And basically what is the function? The help in climbing. So इतना easy question तो नहीं बनेगा definitely. So there is a no question on climbing, tendril. But we are not taking that part. Help in climbing and write down just example. That is number one, pumpkin. Then watermelon, cucumber. And the grapevine. That's it. No question from the tendril because बहुत easy question है. इतना easy question नीट में नहीं बनता. Next one we are talking about, that is hard pointed structure. Thorn, spine, prickles, and the another one that is bristles. So we are taking all four category together: thorn, spine, prickles, and the bristles. So what is meaning of that all? We are talking about all these are basically, first point, hard structure. All these are okay. All these four, these are the hard structure, as well as we can say it has the pointed structure. hard and the pointed structure. And what is the function? Definitely number one function, protection from the browsing animal. Definitely the animals, those are the herbivorous. So plant, these are one kind of the modification. These are the one way of protection. And the another, to reduce water loss. That's why it is undergo the modification. Okay. So next point we are talking about function. Number one, all these thorns, spine, prickle, as well as the bristles, they are reduce water loss. First point. Hmm? And the second function, ultimately, they are involved during the protection from browsing animal. That's it. Very simple. Done? Screen visible, sound is clear. Okay, so has ठीक है चलो. So quickly we are writing one example for each one. First of all, first category we are talking about the thorns category. Thorns basically, you know very well, these are the hard pointed structure, common point. Such type of the thorns basically it is present in case of the citrus like lemon, oranges, as well as these are the present in datura, or you can say that is duranta. Third one, we are taking example, these are the also present in case of the begonovilla. Begonovilla. So these are the few example where hard pointed structure, that is thorns or structures are present. One important point with respect to begonovilla, basically begonovilla it has some hook like structure. In case of this begonovilla, hook structure is present, hook like structure. Okay, so definitely there is a presence of the thorns, and that thorns it is having the something a pointed structure, hook like structure. And such hook like structure basically they help in climbing. Okay, so they are help in climbing. Got it? So one question from Bougainvillea, it has the hook-like structure, pointed structure, and that due to that hook-like structure, basically they are help for the climbing. Chalo. Number second, we are talking about that is spine. Spines. Spines again, these are the hard pointed structure, and such type of the spines. Example, it is very much common in case of this Apuntia, that is cactus. Third one, we are talking about that is prickles. I hope you very well aware this. Prickles basically they are present on the roots. आपने देखा होगा on the root stem, on the stem region, there is a presence of something. It's the one kind of the actually thorns, but we are specifically we are talking about the prickles, pointed hard structure, green in color, right, and involved during the protection. So whatever the thorns like structure or that hard pointed structure which is present on the root stem, specifically we are talking about that structure that is called as the prickles. And the last one, that is Bristol. So basically Bristol they present similarly again on Opuntia. Bristles nothing but जैसे हमारा toothbrush होता है, there is a very small fine layer of the hair present. So on entire phylloclade, on that entire modified stem, there is a presence of the very small structure. आपने देखा है भेंडी, lady finger, on the lady finger also there is a something pointed, very structures are present, right? So that is also it's a one kind of the bristles. which is having the uniform, very thin, light structure. Hmm? What is the difference between the thorns and the spine? Basically, spines, basically they are green in color. They are green in color normally. But when you are talking about the thorns category, thorns basically initially they are green, but later they convert it into non-green. They become very hard, they become very pointed, they become brown color. So spines basically green in color because they are one kind of the leaf modified leaf. But whenever we are talking about the thorns category, initially they are green, but later they convert it into non-green. And major function, protection. Okay. Ha Deepika, you can say that hairy structure. Hmm. Chalo. So done this part. Okay. Clear this part. Okay, chalo. Now we are taking a very unique example. What is the exactly difference between the tuner, means a tuner and the climber? Hmm? So हमें twinning भी करना है. Means the basically twinner. These are the part of the stem, modified stem, who sensitive to touch, and immediately we are comparing this point with the climber. ठीक है? Because दोनों का function क्या है? Both they are having the common function. They help for climbing. They provide the support. But there is a very basic difference. So next point we are talking about modification का ही part है. Actually, these are the what we say, that is aerial stem modification. Same point, we continue this point, but specifically we are talking about what is the exactly difference between the twinner, and we compare this point with the climber. Both point. When we are talking about in case of the twinner basically these are the modified aerial stem which is sensitive to touch. Sensitive to touch. Okay. And now what happen if during this support, if they come contact with the any support, so ultimately they decrease the growth. And if they does not come contact with any support, now they are showing the continuously growth. तो हम ज्यादा इतना point नहीं ले रहे. Just remember, whenever we are talking about the tuner category, definitely both they are aerial stem modification, both they are. But there is a very basic difference. When we are talking about that is twinner category, they are sensitive to touch. And the climber, normally हमने climber word सुना हुआ है, right? So in case of the climber, basically they are insensitive to touch. ठीक है? Now whenever we are talking about the twinner category, ultimately it has specific growth pattern. Specific growth pattern present. And if you want, you can write down that specific pattern. Basically it will be showing coiling pattern. Coiling pattern. So whatever the growth pattern is present, it should be a specific because they are sensitive to touch. So ultimately what happened, they are showing the coiling pattern. But when we are talking about the climber, in case of the climber, there is a no any change in growth pattern, or there is a no any specific growth pattern. No specific growth pattern. ठीक है? Very simple as it is. Yeah, done. Done. ठीक है, चलो. So next point, write down the one example. We are taking only one example, that is convolvulus. Convolvulus, which is come under the category that is twinner. And the climber के लिए हमारे पास बहुत सारे example है. You can select any tendril like structure, that is cucurbits, because cucurbit it has the tendril. Again you can select the money plant, because money plant root they having modification. Root they act as a support. They they attach to the support and they are helped during the climbing. So money plant, again, it is come under the climber category. Money plant root. Okay. In case of the cucumber, you can remember that is tendril. Tendril, these are the come under the climber category. And in case of the bougainvillea, just we discuss, there is a presence of the hook structure. Okay, hook. So all these are the structure like tendril in case of the cucumber beets, root in case of the money plant, as well as the hook in case of the bougainvillea. All these are the come under the category that is climber. But दोनों का function क्या है? Both they are having the common function. They help for climbing, right? They touch, they are take the help of the support and simply they are showing the growth pattern. Support, common function. चलो, that's it. Where we found the combo. It is present in case of the lineage plant. जहाँ पे कहते हैं ना canopy जहाँ पे present. What we say, there is a competition to capture the sunlight for the survival. जैसे tropical rainforest, Amazon rainforest, where canopy present. So such type of this convolvulus plant is very much common, and twinner also present at that area. Okay. Canopy, or you can say that is such kind of this linear structure or tropical rainforest area where competition to catch the sunlight. Okay, Smita, chalo. Next point, write down, we are talking about that is leaf. Stem part is covered. We discussed that is underground stem modification. Then we discussed the sub-area stem modification. And now we discuss modification of the aerial stem. Out of those, just two important steps are there. What is the exactly difference between the phylloclade and the cladode? Because in leaf modification, हमें वहाँ पे phylum देखना है. So there is a confusion between phylloclade and the phylum. I'll discuss that point later. But remember, under aerial stem modification, you have to remember two important words, phylloclade and the cladode, and what is the exactly difference. Chalo. Next part, we are talking about leaf. Third part, we cover root, we cover stem portion, and now we are talking about the third part of the plant body, that is leaf. Again, I'm telling you, there's no question what is the leaf veins, what is function, etc, etc, etc. There is a no any question. Mostly question coming from the actually leaf के ऊपर question बनता ही नहीं है. Honestly, I'm telling you, because whatever we are just taking the example because simple leaf, compound leaf will took that. But what happened? There is a no any specific kind of this question from this same area. So whatever we are talking about, we focus on the modification. Chalo. So we are talking about that is leaf. Basically, when you talk about the leaf they get originate. Definitely, they get originate from the SAM. And you know very well, SAM nothing but we are talking about shoot apical meristem. Shoot apical meristem. Right? In other language, you can say there is a presence of the node. And that node further converted, or that node further gives rise to a typical structure that is leaf structure. So you can say shoot apical meristem, or you can say where node area is present. From those area there is formation of the typical leaf. And I hope you remember when you talk about the I think the horsetail equisetum, वहाँ पे हमने डिटेल में देखा था what is meaning of node, what is meaning of the internode. So I'm not taking that part right now. So similar node that is an area where future leaf can form, future branches can be formed, depend upon the plant condition. Now, leaf structure. Suppose yes, stem. From this stem, now these are the area like this. So I'm giving the name one by one, means numbers actually. ये जो part है that is called as the number 1. Now this orange color, basically these are the number 2, and this green color number 3. Number 1, basically these are called as the leaf base. Number 1, that is leaf base, where leaf it is attached to stem, that is leaf base. And leaf base also called as hypopodium. Hypo, that is below, podium, that is leaf. Below the leaf, below or base of the leaf, simply it is called as the hypopodium. Now the orange color, whatever the area is present, that area basically is called as the petiole. Petiole, right? The region, middle region, which is represented by the number 2, that is orange color. So that petiole it is present at the middle region, that's why it is called as the mesopodium. Mesopodium. And the third one we are talking about, that is leafy structure, whatever the green color, that entire portion basically it is called as the lamina. And the lamina it is also called as the epipodium. Epipodium is what, which is a present toward the upper direction or on the top position, apex position. So leaf base hypopodium, middle part that is petiole it is called as the mesopodium, and whatever the expansion of the leaf, simply it is called as the lamina, and lamina also called as the epipodium. Now if you see the plant hibiscus plant, this has some kind of the spiny structure like this. Suppose so it is having something a spiny structure, very hard spiny structure are present. So this structure which is represented by this beige color or the cream color, simply these are called as the stipules. This structure basically it is called as the stipule structure. हम आगे देखेंगे stipules nothing but these are the again one kind modified leaf which is a green in color. We'll discuss that part later. So these are the very basic leaf structure. It is has the 3 part: leaf base, petiole, and the lamina. No need to remember. Whatever we are taking all modification pattern: leaf base modification, leaf petiole modification, as well as the leaf lamina modification. Chalo. So first of all, we are taking types of the leaf with example. Types of the leaf. Types of the leaf, basically it is divided into 2 types, that is simple leaf and the compound leaf. Simple leaf and the another one that is compound leaf. When we are talking about the simple leaf, it means that only single leaf is present. Very simple, very single. Suppose leaf hai, now there is a presence of the only single leaf. Such type of this leaf basically is called as the simple leaf. And when we are talking about the compound leaf, many leaflets are present. Many leaflets. So when we are talking about the compound leaf again it is divided into 2 types: palmate and the pinnate. So quickly we are talking about that part, because in assignment or meanwhile in case of the DPP you will get some questions related to compound leaf. That is what is meaning of the pinnate leaf and what is meaning of the palmate leaves. So simple leaf, but basically there is a no division of the lamina. Simple leaf is present, only single leaf is present. But when we are talking about the compound leaf, definitely there is a division present. Simple leaf, that is no division of leaf, and in case of this compound, basically leaf they get divided. Divisions are present. So this compound leaf basically it is divided into 2 categories. First one, number 1, pinnate. Pinnate leaf. And another one, palmate leaf. Pinnate leaf and the another one that is palmate leaf. What is the meaning of the pinnate leaf? Simple arrangement. Basically in this kind of this condition, यहाँ पे present होगा rachis. One question, rachis present in case of the pinnate. And when you compare this point with palmate, such type of the rachis is totally absent. So what is meaning of the rachis? Rachis nothing but these are called as the primary stem axis. जिसे हम कहते हैं ना middle part where leaf multiple leaves they get attached. So simply we are talking about rachis, nothing but these are also called as primary stem axis. So on the basis of the rachis, it is divided into two types, pinnate and the palmate. तो पहले palm को समझ लेते हैं because it's very easy. Just see your hand. आपका हाथ देखो थोड़ा palm. So if you see near the where the wristwatch is present, so that is exactly that is the origin. From the wristwatch region, now total 5 fingers they get originated. 5 fingers. And now what happened? There is a one common point, and total 5 fingers they originated and they get dispersed. So whenever we are talking about the palmate leaf arrangement, it means that leaf present in cluster. What is meaning of palmate? Simple meaning है leaf present at the cluster like a finger. जैसे होता है ना, एक हमारा palm है and that inside that palm one origin point, that is wristwatch area, and now from that point 5 fingers get originated. Similarly, in case of this, see यहाँ पे palm दिया हुआ है, that's why it is get originated. Palm, similar word है. So palm nothing but palmate, that is cluster of leaf, cluster leaf present in cluster form in group, right? Such type of the condition, these are called as the palmate. So quickly we are drawing the structure. Suppose ये part is stem का, right? These are the stem part, and now leaves they get originated from a single point. So ये single point है. From this point many leaves get originated like fingers. So such type of the condition, these are called as the palmate leaf because it will be showing arrangement like a palm, and rachis are absent. So we'll discuss what is meaning of the rachis. When you compare this point in case of the pinnate, तो pinnate में क्या होगा? Rachis is present. Rachis means what? Long elongated primary axis is present like this. So suppose whatever the structure is given, this structure basically is called as the rachis, and that rachis also called as primary stem axis, also called as the rachis. On that primary axis, stem axis, many leaves are present. Many leaves, but the leaves they are not present in a cluster. Many leaves are present in both condition. Many leaves are present. That's why we are talking about that it is compound. But now what happened? The leaves they are not present in a cluster. All over the stem, all over the primary stem, that is primary axis, that leaf they get spread all over the condition. So यहाँ पे क्या है? Leaflets are present. Definitely many leaves are present, but they are not present in a clustered form. They present on the primary stem axis, or in other language they are present on the rachis, right? So that's what is called as the pinnate. Remember only one palmate, palm condition. Leaf present at the cluster. एक point होगा. From that point multiple leaves get originated. Okay, and on the basis of that you can remember the pinnate. Remember only one, any one. Done? Asmita? Komal? Boys, new students, do you have any doubt? I can understand अगर आपका botany का पहला class होगा, so you will get some time to understand the language and to catch what is the going on. But honestly, just give your efforts. Within few days, you will get familiar with this. New students especially. Okay, done this part? Yeah, chalo. Next point, we are talking about venation of leaf. Venation of leaf, and you know that venation, simple meaning, that is arrangement of vein inside the leaves. Simply it is called as the venation. Arrangement of veins in leaves. Such type of this condition, these are called as the venation. So quickly we are talking about the types. First of all, basically it is divided into two types. Number one, reticulate venation. reticulate venation. And whenever we are using the word reticulate, it means that veins are present in a network. Veins, they formed a network. That's what is called as a reticulate. Veins, they get form a network. So quickly we are taking the diagrammatic representation how exactly look. Suppose a leaf है. So suppose these are the leaf, and inside the leaf veins are present. So veins, normally you know that is veins are present like this, midrib present, veins are present. And now there is a presence of the ventlets, and that ventlets now they form a network like this. बस इस तरह से करना है, zigzag 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 at any direction, not a specific pattern. Like this. So what is this? These are called as the network. The ventlets, they get form a network. Such type of this condition, they are called as the reticulate venation, and we are writing the example. Reticulate venation, these are the mostly present in case of the dicot. Mostly they present in case of the dicot, but these are the also present in few monocot. Also they present in case of the few monocot. And write out the example. We are taking the first example, that is Smilex, which is example of the monocot. Another one, Colocasia, example of the monocot. Okay? So definitely whenever we are talking about reticulate venation, where these are the most common, these are the most common in case of the dicot, but we have few examples where in few monocot also such type of the reticulate venation is present. Got it? Done? Hmm. Okay. Boys, Sandesh, Ramchandra, Nihal, Mohammed, Jail is there, Jared is there, Edric, पूरा लेडी गैंग है, पूरा लेडी गैंग है. अतुल, वेदांत. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. Yeah. Next point we are talking about. चलो, write down types of reticulate venation. Write down the title, types of reticulate venation. In case of the types of the reticulate venation, definitely we discuss reticulate venation, nothing but there is a formation of the network. Network get formed, right? Veins are, they are not having any particular direction. They are present in case of the network. Mohammed, actually I don't have all 4 chapters linked. Because now what happened today, for example, today I finished this chapter, okay? So I did, as it is, I link share into group. जैसे मैं next class start करती हूँ, I erase all these things. So I think last 2 or 3 classes I already share whiteboard link. That's why ladkiyon, please help him yaar. Okay? Just help to each other. And don't write the notes right now. Don't waste your time during the writing. जिसका handwriting अच्छा होगा, take their notebook, print it and read it. Better. Yeah. Manpreet has the good handwriting, if I'm not wrong. Manpreet. And she writing well also. Chalo. Okay, Manpreet, just help him, okay? Yeah. So next point we are talking about, that is types of reticulate venation. Simple meaning we are talking about that is two types, unicostate and the multicostate. So we are talking about two types. Number one, uni. नाम से पता चल रहा है, uni means something single, one is present. So we are talking about unicostate. And the second type, multicostate. Word unicostate simple meaning presence of only single mid read or the main branch. So there is the presence of only one main branch is present. Only single. You can say midrib or you can say that is main branch. Only single midrib or mid branch is present. So if you want diagram, you can draw like this. Suppose a simple structure and inside this structure now there is a presence of the single main veins, that is midrib. So only single is present and the entire structure they covered with the network. So they form a network like this. So single main veins is present. So unicostate. So unicostate basically it is very much common in case of China rose and the people. If you see the people leaves, it attractive actually. When you place inside your book or notebook, after few days, ultimately all whatever the cellulose part or whatever the leaf part it is get damaged and only hence they can clearly visible. People leaves. So that is also a good example, and it is come under the unicostate because single midrib is present. Uni means what? Single, and costate means what? Main veins. Midrib single present. So unicostate में example आएगा China rose and the people. And what is meaning of the multicostate? Obviously, more than one main veins are present. More than one main veins are present. So remember example. And under this point, again we are taking the two types under the multicostate, where more than one veins are present. So this multicostate again divide into two types. Multicostate divide into two types. Number one, convergent and divergent. Convergent and the another one divergent. Simple meaning to remember convergent and the divergent. Normally, what is meaning of the convergent? Now, suppose ये leaf है. These are the leaf. In case of the convergent, leaf they start originated from the one point and they meet again at the second point like this. So जैसे हम कहते हैं ना convergent means they get originated from one point and again they meet together at the tip region. Such type of this condition this is called as the convergent. An example for the convergent is first. Divergent means what? They get originated from the one point but they get dispersed. जैसे कहते हैं divert हो गया, divergent जैसे हम कहते हैं convergent evolution, divergent evolution, radiant evolution, similar like that, same concept. So in case of the convergent, they get originated and again from one point of the leaf, one end of the leaf, and at the second end, again they get attached with each other, again they get meet. So convergent. And what is meaning of the divergent? Divergent nothing but suppose the leaf है, but the leaf they are showing such kind of this arrangement. Suppose ये leaf है, particular these are the leaf. Now, whence they get originated from the one point and they are showing simply divergent at multiple direction. Whence many main veins are present, right? Many main veins are present. But now what happened? They are showing the divergent means what? They disperse, they radiate from each and every direction. So they never meet. They originated from the one point, but they never meet. That's why we are talking about the divergent. And such type of this divergent condition is very much common in case of the castor, as well as it is very much common in case of the loofah. And third one, that is grapevine. Castor, loofah, and the grapevine. Whence they originated from the one point, but they never meet. That's what is called as the divergent. Then so all these are the information with reticulate venation, with their types, with their examples. Again, I'm telling you, whatever the types are going on, simple straightforward question banegi se, whatever the examples given in NCERT, you have to remember only those examples. No need to remember each and every example, because from morphology only 2 questions will be coming, or it's a large part, and actually it's a lengthy part. So whatever is part, just focus on the modification and few examples. Hmm? Okay. So these are the first point with respect to reticulate venation, where veins they form a network. Second type of venation, we are talking about parallel venation. एक मिनट, कोमल का क्या कहना है? हाँ कोमल, veins they originated from the one point, but now what happened? Many main veins are present. They get showing growth toward the different direction, divergent. हाँ कोमल, true. Next point, number second type, we are talking about parallel venation. Parallel means what? Veins arrangement in a parallel direction, which is very much common in case of monocot. So second type under the venation, parallel venation. Simple meaning of the parallel venation, that is arrangement is parallel. It means that there is a no network form. No network, no reticulate venation is present. Simple example. Parallel venation, these are the very much common in case of the monocot. Mostly such type of this venation is mostly common. It's in case of the monocot, but you know it's bio. So there is a few dicot where such type of this parallel venation is present. And the very simple, we are taking only one example, that is calophyllum. That's it. Calophyllum, as well as that's a corymbium also example, but it's one example, that is calophyllum. Similarly, we are talking about parallel venation. They divide into two types, unicostate and the multicostate. सब कुछ वही रहेगा, but example get different. Parallel venation, they divide into two types. Unicostate, that is single midrib is present, single main veins is present. That's what is called as the unicostate. And unicostate, it is very much common in case of banana, और banana का brother है, that is canna. Banana and canna. ठीक है? If you see in case of the banana, the arrangement of the veins, they are parallel. Suppose ये banana का leaf है, single veins is present, single, and whatever the arrangement are present, all those arrangement, they are parallel with each other like this. There is no any network, there is no any reticulate venation, कोई complex structure नहीं present होगा. They are formed very simple and the straight structure like this. That's what is called as the parallel venation. Right? Single unicostate condition, single midrib is present, and now what happened? They form means single main veins is present, but whatever the arrangement, that arrangement of the veins, basically they are parallel to each other. Similarly, we are talking about the second type, that is multicostate. You know very well, multicostate, that is multiple veins are present, means midribs are present, main veins are present. That's what is called as the multicostate. And again, this multicostate, they divide into two types, convergent and divergent. Meaning same रहेगा. Another one, that is divergent. In case of the convergent, simple example, bamboo and the grasses. Another example, grasses. Grasses also they are showing. convergent, what we say, multi-costed condition. So suppose ये leaf है, hmm? And inside the leaves, now from one point whence they get arise, they meet at the second point. यहाँ से arise हुआ, meet at the second end. They get arise and meet at the second end. So simply they are showing one type of the direction. There is a no network, there is a no any complex structure. Simply they are showing arrangement, convergent, originate from the one point and the second end of the that same leaf they get merged together. Convergent. अब होगा divergent. Divergent condition, it is very much common in case of the fan palm. हाँ अभिलाषा. So such condition, it is very much common in case of the fan palm. And definitely convergent means what? They get originated from the one point and they just get dispersed. Abhilasha done? Abhilasha? Shall I continue? Hmm. So we are talking about example for the fan palm. Suppose is a leaf. Simply they are showing divergent like this. From one point they get originated, main veins, and they get dispersed like this. So such type of the example which is come under the divergent multi-costed parallel venation, because there is no network, no any reticulate venation. Once you finish, tell me. Done? Hmm. Okay, chalo. So these are the types of venation. Next point we are talking about phyllotaxy. You have to remember the simple terminology, okay? Next concept, phyllotaxy. In case of the phyllotaxy, simple meaning, arrangement of leaf on stem. Arrangement of leaf on stem or branches. Such type of this condition, simply these are called as the phyllotaxy. You know very well, normally what happens, there is a single node is present. From node area, now there is a leaf get originated. But sometimes what happens, if compound leaf is present now on the same axis or on the same stem axis, multiple leaves are present. Leaves, they are present in alternate manner, they are present exactly at the opposite, they are present up and down condition, they are present in a cluster. So different type of the arrangement of the leaf, right? So we are talking about phyllotaxy, and under the phyllotaxy we are talking about types of the phyllotaxy, how that leaf they are showing. तो पहला जो मोस्ट कॉमन है, नंबर 1 वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अल्टरनेट फाइलोटैक्सी. फर्स्ट टाइप दैट इज अल्टरनेट फाइलोटैक्सी. नाम से पता चल रहा है. What is meaning of the alternate? Basically, leaf they present in a alternate manner, and such condition it is very much common in case of the China rose. In this chapter, China rose multiple time आएगा, बहुत time आएगा China rose. So again, alternate phyllotaxy they are present in case of the China rose. So what is meaning of the alternate? Suppose these are the part of the stem. ये stem है, and on this stem leaf they get arranged. यहाँ पे एक present है, one leaf present toward the right, another leaf present toward the left, third one present, again another the right, and the another there is a presence of the left. So alternate arrangement of the leaf. Such type of this leaf arrangement simply it is called as the alternate leaf arrangement. And when we are talking about the alternate leaf arrangement, simple single node, they gives rise to single leaf. Gives rise to single leaves, because you know very well where the node area is present, that node area basically it is responsible for formation of the leaf. So simple meaning, in alternate phyllotaxy, single node region is present, and that single node region they gives rise to single leaf, and such type of this phyllotaxy they are called as the alternate phyllotaxy. Number second, opposite. Opposite phyllotaxy. Opposite phyllotaxy basically means what? It means that a single node they gives rise to two leaf. Single node they gives rise to two leaves. So we are talking about the examples. Opposite phyllotaxy basically they present in case of the one common example, calotropis. Question on calotropis. Another example, guava. Right? So these are the two examples where opposite phyllotoxy is present. And what is meaning of the opposite phyllotoxy? That is single node. Single node, they gives rise to two leaves. Such type of this phyllotoxy simply the opposite phyllotoxy. So suppose ये stem का part है, and on this stem part, now we are talking about the exactly opposite, means node region है, these are the node region. So from one same point, exactly at the opposite direction, there is a formation of the leaf. Like this, there is a no alternate exactly at the parallel position. So such type of this phyllotoxy, these are called as the opposite phyllotoxy. Got it? Very simple. And the last point, verticulate phyllotoxy, or we can say circular phyllotoxy, or you can say that is whorled phyllotoxy, where leaves they are present in a cluster, means single node they gives rise to more than two leaves, more than three leaves. Last point, number 3, whorled phyllotaxy. And what is meaning of the whorled phyllotaxy? Simple meaning is that is single node they can give rise to more than two leaf. More than two leaf. So such type of this condition it is present in case of the nerium, and in case of the nerium, single node, one node, they can form total 3 leaves. Nerium, you can see image on the Google. And the another example, Elstonia. In case of the Elstonia, one node that gives rise to more than 3 leaves. They can form more than 3 leaves. So simple arrangement है. Number one, that is alternate. Single node, they give rise to single leaf, and leaf arrangement, they are alternate. Another one, opposite. Single node gives rise to two leaf, and they are placed exactly opposite to each other. And the next one, that is walled arrangement. Walled arrangement was leaf present in a circular manner. So more than two present होगा, 3 हो सकता है और 4 हो सकता है, 5 हो सकता है, dependent. So such type of this arrangement, these are called as the walled phyllotoxy, where single node area, they gives rise to more than 2 leaves. Nerium example, single node gives 3 leaves, and Allistonia, single node gives rise to more than 3 leaves. Got it? Yeah, done this part. Pratyusha. Okay, okay, fine. So with this, we end today's session. And tomorrow you will have the extra classes at evening. At least I think I'll schedule the meeting, because this week I'll get only 2 classes. So within 2 classes, very less classes. So कल मैं evening में class लूँगी. I think you will be free 3:30. Might be possible I will start from the 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Let's see कितने बजे start कर. तो might be possible 5 o'clock. So 5 to 6:30 there will be extra classes, for not extra class actually, I want that class. So tomorrow I'll take the class at evening. Only for tomorrow. Okay? बाकी का सब कुछ according to timetable चलेगा. So tomorrow we'll start the leaf modification. Then we start with inflorescence, and immediately we start with the flower. And flower is important because this year, NEET 2020, 2 questions came from the flower. One from the placentation, and the another one that is related to estivation. So flower is also important. ठीक है, चलो. Yeah, thank you so much. With this, we end today's session, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock or 5:30. Let's see. I'll schedule the meeting. You will get the notification. हाँ. And Manpreet, bye bye. काम करना please.